Brittany, what is the study of physics?
Physics is the study of life and what happens around us.
Actually, the scientific definition of physics is the branch of science concerned with the nature and properties of matter and energy. In fact, physics is everywhere. That's physics.
Parts of physics include kinematics, heat, optics, and mechanics, but today we're focusing on acceleration.
Acceleration is defined as the change in velocity over time.
To calculate acceleration, you need a velocity. Velocity is measured in meters per second, while acceleration is measured in meters per second squared.
Basically, acceleration tells us how many meters per second the velocity changes each second.
Acceleration is a vector, which means it includes both magnitude and direction.
Acceleration can also either be positive or negative. So when the velocity increases, the acceleration is positive, and when the velocity decreases, the acceleration is negative.
You can also find the acceleration of an object using a velocity versus time graph. All you need to do is find the slope, which is rise over run.
Acceleration that does not change is referred to as constant acceleration or uniform motion.
If a velocity versus time graph is a straight line, the acceleration is uniform or constant.
The acceleration at a given time, which is instantaneous acceleration, is given by the slope of a tangent to a curve on a velocity versus time graph.
If the initial velocity, acceleration, and time are known, the displacement of an object can be found using the formula d equals to initial velocity times t plus 1 over 2 at squared.
To find the displacement when velocity and time are known and the acceleration is constant, the formula used is d is equal to final velocity plus initial velocity over 2 times time.
To find the displacement when velocity and acceleration are known, you can use the formula final velocity squared equals initial velocity squared plus 2ad. Another formula that involves acceleration is final velocity equals initial velocity plus at. Acceleration due to gravity will always be negative because gravity pulls things down, and going down means negative.
On the surface of Earth, a free-falling object has the acceleration of negative 9.8 meters per second squared.
As I push, I'm accelerating.
And since I'm not pushing, I'm moving at a constant acceleration. Since I was moving at a constant velocity, my acceleration was 0.
And since my velocity increased, my acceleration did also.
When I throw this ball, gravity will pull it back down at negative 9.8 meters per second squared. My initial velocity at 0 seconds is 0 meters per second. Now my velocity is 1 meter per second because I am moving. The formula for acceleration is change in velocity over time. My velocity was 1 meter per second and my time was 3 meters per second, making my acceleration 0.33 meters per second squared. That was our introduction to acceleration. Thank you for watching.